Benin Republic coup. The violation of Benin Republic's airspace and the dangers of unlawful military actions. A core Christian due process national youth leader, COPDEM. The deliberate violation of another nation's airspace through military bombardment, if undertaken by any government, represents one of the most serious breaches of international conduct in the modern world. Such an action shatters the foundational principles upon which peaceful coexistence among sovereign states is built. In West Africa, where nations are interlinked by history, culture, and shared economic destinies, the consequences of an unlawful incursion into the airspace of a neighboring country like the Benin Republic would be especially destructive, both politically and morally. Airspace is more than a physical zone above a country, it is a symbol of sovereignty. International law, particularly the United Nations Charter, is clear and unequivocal. No nation has the right to violate another's territorial integrity except under tightly defined conditions such as self-defense or with explicit United Nations authorization. Any form of aerial assault ignores these boundaries and undermines the global framework created to prevent war and chaos after the devastations of the 20th century. Such an act would not only destabilize diplomatic relations but also erode the trust that underpins regional cooperation. For West African states, which rely heavily on collaboration through ECOWAS, a cross-border attack would be not just reckless but self-sabotaging. The region faces shared challenges, security threats, economic volatility, humanitarian pressures, that can only be addressed through mutual respect and cooperation. A bombardment of Benin Republic, even in a hypothetical context, would fracture regional unity and project an image of Nigeria as a destabilizing force rather than a continental leader. The ripple effects could include retaliatory diplomatic measures, economic disruptions, and the weakening of collective security frameworks that protect millions of lives. Moreover, aerial bombardment comes with devastating human consequences. It threatens civilian lives, destroys infrastructure, and produces long-term trauma for communities caught in the crossfire. In a region already grappling with displacement and insecurity, any action that adds to human suffering is morally indefensible. Governments are entrusted with the responsibility to protect, not endanger, populations, whether within or beyond their borders. The international community also bears witness. In an era where global norms are closely monitored, a country that violates another's airspace risks international condemnation, sanctions, and reputational damage. Diplomatic isolation can weaken a nation politically and economically, limiting its ability to engage meaningfully on global issues. No responsible government should expose its citizens to such avoidable consequences. Ultimately, the unauthorized use of military force across borders is an affront to international law, regional stability, and human dignity. Nations must resolve disputes through dialogue, negotiation, and adherence to established diplomatic channels, not through acts of aggression. Any leader or state apparatus contemplating such an action must recognize the profound harm it would inflict not only on the victim state but on the perpetrator's own standing in the world. Peace, cooperation, and respect for sovereignty remain the only viable paths for building a stable and prosperous West Africa. The deployment of military aircraft to Benin Republic is a clear demonstration of overzealous strength in a foreign land while failing at home. Nigeria's growing terrorism and genocide is well documented in the global scene. Currently, over 315 St. Mary's school children from Papiri, Niger State, the air held hostage without any visible government responses to tackle the free reign of terror in Nigeria. The Maga school abduction in Kebbi State, the Aruku Kak Church terror attack in Kwara State, the Wushishi 30 vigilantes massacred and many other terror attacks have shown the complicity of Tinubu APC government. The same military fighter jets that are missing in action against terrorists are suddenly available for the bombardment of Benin Republic. Beyond the convenience quote of defending democracy, this is best described as a clear attempt to protect France's interests in Benin Republic by Tinubu APC government that have found comfort in France more than a so rock.